All right, let's go. You're rocking and rolling right now on a Wednesday. Hottest show in the streets. Talking your Bama football news in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, coming to you from the home location here in Tuscaloosa. Proud to be with every last one of you, the Bama fans. We are closing in on the A-Day game, the spring game. This is A-Day week right here of your Crimson Tide. They're in the final week of spring ball to get themselves prepared for when they take the field Saturday inside Bryant-Denny Stadium here in Tuscaloosa, 3 p.m. Central Time, that they put on a show, an absolute show for you, the Crimson Tide football fan base. You're rocking and rolling right here. Hottest show on the streets, bringing you your Bama football news and nuggets right here. Go ahead right now. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Get yourself locked in, locked on to your nonstop Bama football material right here. Hit that like button as well. Smash the like button. Give us a thumbs up right there on the show. The daily super chat go $100. Daily super chat go $100 right there. We appreciate that from you. Go crazy in the comment section. We're taking all of your YouTube comments tonight. We're getting to all your thoughts, all of your questions, your concerns here. We're going to answer those, or I'm going to answer those right here on the show. But quite the amount of topics to get into. We're going to jump into first. The Alabama offensive coaching staff has given Jalen Milroe a lot of confidence. He spoke yesterday in player interviews after practice, talked specifically about Nick Sheridan, Alabama's offensive coordinator. He talked about, hey, this guy believes in me. He trusts me. Positive reinforcement. This is going to be a very special season, a special moment for me. Why? Because I have the offensive coaching staff around me that believes in me, that nurtures me, that pushes me to be at my very best. And the play calling or the scheming fits to what I need to do and what I want to do as a quarterback. So we're going to get into that. Alabama's running backs possessing huge versatility in spring practice. We're going to see a lot more passes to the running backs this upcoming season, whether it's out of the flat, whether it's out the backfield, on wheel routes. We're going to see a lot more throws coming to the running backs' direction. So Alabama's running backs having that big-time versatility. We'll get into that. And a freshman defensive back dominating so much in spring ball that a veteran wide receiver has compared him to Caleb Downs. This is a lot to discuss. This is a lot to dive into. So let's do it here on the show. And before we get into it, we're going to go to your comments right here to start this thing off. Get some of your comments right here on the show. Appreciate you guys. We got Roll Tide and Rise Up with Roll Tide fam. We appreciate you, Roll Tide and Rise Up, checking us out here on a Wednesday to get us started. And then we got Neo with the RTR, Roll Tide, roll to you as well, Neo. We appreciate that. Timothy Pass writes in, Roll Tide, A-Day is almost here. I'll be hitting the road on Friday morning. So Timothy Pass excited. A-Day here. It comes Friday, or it comes Saturday. He'll be hitting the road Friday morning. Timothy Pass also writes in, what time is the show Friday at the Bryant Museum? That will be at 6 p.m. Central Time. That being the Bama Standard show at 6 p.m. Central Time there at the Bryant Museum on Friday. Tim Garner giving us a strong emoji right there. Appreciate that from Tim Garner, helping us out here on the show. Let's see here. James Crick writes in with that Roll Tide roll at RTR. Appreciate you, James. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Here we go. We got Run the Table Sports TV. Steve, you hurting us. We want to tear the club up. Roll Tide. We coming. Right. Run the Table Sports. We're coming with it. We're coming with the background. It's coming. It's going to be brought back. Don't you worry. Run the Table Sports TV. It's coming. I know you want to get back to that vibe of a backdrop. We're coming back with it. Just give us a little bit more time here, but we're coming back with it. Dixon Butts writes in, Looking forward to A-Day and the Birmingham Stallions home opener. It's going to be good. My main thing is the scheduling of it all. Like, whoever had the idea of scheduling the Birmingham Stallions home opener and the A-Day game on the same day as the A-Day game, they did not think that all the way through. Because as much as people enjoy the Stallions, the USFL, now the UFL, of the Stallions, two-time champions of that league, and as much as the people in the Birmingham area enjoy the Stallions, a lot of people more so will be in Tuscaloosa at Bryant-Denny for the A-Day game. So this time around, having the A-Day and the Stallions in Birmingham, I don't think the people worked that all the way through there. So that's going to be interesting right there. We got here Darius Fountain writes in, you're a fourth-year player. What you need the coaches to give you confidence. I mean, he's a fourth-year guy, true, but Darius, think about it like this. Think about it like this. When Bill O'Brien basically tells you you shouldn't even be a quarterback, and Milroe had 2 years with O'Brien, and O'Brien tells you shouldn't even be a quarterback. And then you got Tommy Reese of home. Yes, did some good things with you, but then at the same time, that didn't generate even more. And so now you have an offensive-minded coaching staff that not only believes in you, but gets you, understands you, wants to unlock you at your full big-time potential. You know, players take on the mentality of their coaches, right? So if a coach is injecting confidence in you, yes, you want to have confidence in yourself as a player, absolutely. But when a coach is injecting extra confidence in you, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Like, do you want your coach to not be confident in you? Do you want your coach to not express that he's proud of you? Do you want your coach to say that you're god-awful and that you're trash and that you shouldn't even be? I mean, I'm just saying. So Milroe has confidence in himself, absolutely, but it means even more when you have an offensive coaching staff that gets and understands what it has in you as a quarterback. Absolutely. Run the Table Sports TV writes back in, yes, sir, Steve, A-Day, baby, it's time. Let's see who the dogs are. And 3 p.m. Central Time on Saturday, ESPN, Bryant-Denny Stadium. We will get a bird's eye view of that. Let's see here. Jeff Kuhn writes in, Roll Tide, love the show, bro. Appreciate it, Jeff. Thank you for checking us out here on a Wednesday. Neo writes in, different coach, different game. Looking forward to it. It's going to be fun, guys. It's going to be fun. It's the first game of the Kalen DeBoer era, the spring game. How much support will Coach DeBoer and the staff get? And these players absolutely as well. How many fans can we see? Literally, pack out Bryant-Denny Stadium, showing that support here for this football program. Now, me personally, I'll be at A-Day as a fan this year. First time in a long time, but I will not be there covering as media reporter. I will be there as a fan, and the biggest enjoyment of that is I get to go as a fan with my wife, with my daughter, with my sister-in-law. It's going to be a lot of fun being inside Bryant-Denny, seeing it from the perspective of you guys, of the Alabama football fan base, but also getting a chance to enjoy this with my family. It's going to be something special, a sight to see. Absolutely. We go back to Run the Table Sports TV. Looking forward to seeing Xavier Brown, Mbakwe, Damani Jackson, and Red, the whole secondary. Let's finally see what we got. These young guys in this defensive backfield, the rotation of these young guys, along with transfer Damani Jackson, it's going to be exciting watching this secondary. Who can create some turnovers? Who can create some pass breakups? Who can lay the big-time tackles on the field? Watching the secondary, these young guys have had an unbelievable spring. When you talk about the growth Xavier Brown's made, the growth Mbakwe has made, the growth Red Morgan has made, the growth Xavier Mincy has made, the growth Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. has made. Like, all of these guys have had a great spring. Each day, somebody new has stepped up. I know Red Morgan takes a lot of a conversation, and he's been, phenomenal. But all of these freshman defensive backs have done well this entire spring. It's going to be exciting to watch those guys on the field. Timothy Pass writes in, thank you. See you all there Friday and Saturday. Looking forward to seeing you there as well, Timothy Pass. Denzel Rambo writes in, I want to see how these punts and kicks go. Reichert will be missed. That'll be one area of the game, Denzel, that a lot of fans will have their eye on, the kicking aspect, the specialist. Reichert was money for 5 years. Will Reichert was Mr. Consistency for 5 years. So having him pursuing the NFL now, you've got Connor Talty and Upton Belafont that are both competing here for the job at kicker to take over the mantle which Will Reichert leaves behind. So the 8A game, we're going to get a bird's eye view of which one of these guys between Talty or Belafont can knock in these kicks, regardless of what the weather is, sunshine, rain, wind, what have you. Which one of these two can knock in these kicks consistently that can show the range, that can show the accurate leg, and most importantly, that can show the mental confidence on the field. Run the Table Sports TV writes back in, yes, somebody dropped the ball. Bama is our pro team. Somebody in the office of the Stallions dropped the ball on this one. I don't know who it was, but somebody in the office of the Stallions, they dropped the ball on this one, because as much as people want to see the Birmingham Stallions have success, and I'll be the first to say I want to see it also, but on the same day as A-Day, you're not going to get that kind of reception. The mass majority of fans, not 85 to 90%, if not more, of fans are going to be in Tuscaloosa to watch the Kalen DeBoer era of A-Day. They're going to be watching that. J-Dub writes in, Roll Tide. Hopefully I can catch the game on ESPN or something. Gotta work. Well, J-Dub, big thing for you. It will not be streaming. This game will be on ESPN. No streaming networks. The commentary team of Dave Pash, Greg McElroy, and Molly McGrath will be on the call there from Brian Denny. Absolutely. Tally Ho 03 writes in, been hearing great things about Peyton Woodyard as well as the rest of the young secondary additions. A-Day gonna be fired. Peyton Woodyard's had a great spring. He's been working primarily with the twos, but he's had a great spring. All of the young defensive backs have shown up. They are all doing something, and they all bring something different here to the table. So it's going to be a great A-Day to watch those guys, and then moving forward into summer workouts and fall camp, and how many of these guys can carve out a potential starting roster there. Smooth writes in, you can always tell the fans who never play ball be talking crazy. Man, Smooth, it is what it is. I mean, it happens. It happens. Like, you got some people that get the ins and outs. You got some people that don't get the ins and outs. But this is why we have this show. And this is why I enjoy doing this, to engage and spark conversation. You got to always engage and spark conversation. And that's one of the main things that I really enjoy doing here, on the show with all of you. Let's see here. Continue with your thoughts here on the show. Ant Ford BBQ with the Roll Tide. Appreciate you, Ant, helping us out on the show. J-Dub writes back in, to me, DeBoer shows incredible confidence, and all the players see it. They are going to play hard this season for sure. DeBoer and this staff have injected confidence to everybody on this team. They're going to play hard. They're going to play fast. They're going to be physical. They're going to want to be dominant out here, not just for themselves and for their teammates in terms of the players, but for the coaching staff also, because they want to prove the coaching staff right and having the confidence in them. Aaron McGuire with the Roll Tide Roll. Appreciate you, Aaron. helping us out on the show. Nick Saban Jr., Sports Talk TV, writes in, I'm ready to see the battle in the trenches, offensive line versus defensive line. That's going to be fun. Battle there in the trenches, offensive line. Now, do we see big Jaden Roberts go in the scrimmage? We'll have to see that in the A-Day. We'll have to see that. I know he suffered a twisted ankle in the second scrimmage. He's okay. Nothing serious. Hopefully he can go in the spring game. If he does go, you're looking at from left to right, Elijah Pritchett, Tonga Booker, James Brockermeyer, Jaden Roberts, and Wilkin Formby. That would be your starting group there from left to right on the offensive line. Tally Ho 03 writes back in, 4:15. April 15th will be interesting when the portal opens. We may get some key additions now that the dust settled with Saban leaving and players now see what this coaching staff is about. Keep your eyes definitely on next Monday when that portal opens back up. Does Alabama look at another offensive lineman? Is there a specific position that Alabama could target in the portal? Definitely want to keep your eyes there on April 15th when the portal opens back up. Should be something fun there to look at there. Let's see. J-Dub writes back in, I think it was the front office of the UFL. So the front office of the UFL did this. Front office of the UFL did this. They did not think this through. They did not think this through. Absolutely not. They did not think this all the way through. But at the end of the day, though, you got A-Day this weekend. You've got the Birmingham Stallions playing this weekend. You got a lot to see. You got a lot to get your eyes on this week if you're an Alabama fan. But we're going to jump into right now, first topic here of the conversation on the show. And so this goes to, like I mentioned, the Alabama offensive coaching staff is giving Jalen Milroe. They're instilling a lot of confidence in Milroe. And he mentioned this yesterday after practice. Nick Sheridan, Coach Shepard, Coach DeBoer, Coach Mitch Dalen, who's an offensive analyst working with quarterbacks, they are all behind Milroe. Coach Sheridan giving Milroe that positive reinforcement, giving Milroe that positive coaching, coaching him hard, coaching him tough, making sure that he's staying on Jalen and doing everything he needs to do out there on the field where that's concerned, pushing the ball downfield, making plays offensively, making throws offensively, but at the same time, the relationship there. Milroe didn't have this type of relationship with Bill O'Brien. Once again, OB was like, maybe you shouldn't even play quarterback. So Milroe did not have this type of relationship with OB. His relationship with Tommy Rees was pretty good. Tommy Rees did some good things with Milroe. Nearly 3,000 yards passing last year, 2,834, 35 total touchdowns. You win a Southeastern Conference title. You get to the college football playoff. But how deep was that relationship between Milroe and Tommy Rees? We'll never know. Why? Because Tommy Rees is no longer here. When you look at Nick Sheridan, former quarterback at Michigan, you are seeing the chemistry, you're seeing the connection, you're seeing the vibe, you're seeing the bonding, you're seeing that he wants Milroe to succeed. And he's put everything in place in terms of play calling, in terms of scheme, in terms of strategy for Jalen Milroe to succeed. And that's the great thing. He's put everything in place for a guy like Jalen Milroe to succeed, offensively. If we've watched it all spring. Milroe looking great both scrimmages. Milroe looking great throughout spring practice. Milroe getting to his second and third and fourth read much quicker than what he was last year. Milroe a lot better in the short to intermediate passing game versus where he was last year. Milroe even continuing to fine-tune the deep ball to have that aspect of his game, a whole lot better. So this coaching staff is making this upcoming season a fun one for him. And this is an upcoming season where Milroe can put himself in that conversation for potential Heisman, in that conversation for quarterback accolades, in that conversation for, All-American type things, and in that conversation to possibly be, a high round draft pick when you look at the 2025 venue. So this coaching staff is building up Milroe's confidence to have him in those types of conversations when you talk about this upcoming season. When you look at the Heisman, All-American, first team All-SEC, Maxwell Award, Davey O'Brien Award, Manning Award, all those quarterback awards, they're trying to have Milroe in the conversation for all of those. And in order to start that conversation, it begins with injecting confidence into your quarterback. So it's really awesome to see this coaching staff do that and wanting to see Milroe be at his best and at his brightest as one of the top quarterbacks returning here to the Southeastern Conference. But we're going to take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we're going to more of your comments. We get into your comments. We read those out here. We get into that conversation on the show. But for right now, we're going to get a word from our partners, Alumni Hall and Tuscaloosa. Checking those guys out. They're going to get you ready for A-Day. And also, if you haven't subscribed to touchdownalabama.com TDA Plus for the Way It Is podcast, never before told stories by yours truly covering Bama football. You got to check it out. So we're going to give to you right here, Alumni Hall and the Way It Is podcast. You guys check this out. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains. Gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. And you want to know what's crazy? When I wrote that article on Jalen Hurts being starting quarterback for Alabama in 2016, and I was right. Tide 102.9, now Tide 100.9, actually dismissed me. Like they fired me from the radio show. What? I have a new podcast, The Way It Is, on touchdownalabama.com. I gotta go back to 2017. I'm out there at practice, right? I just hear Coach Saban say, man, stop throwing it deep all the time. And then I hear somebody clap back at Saban with, tell your defense to stop me then. And I'm like, who in the world did clap back at Saban? I look, it was Lil Mac Jones. Got up clapping back at the goal. And in this podcast, I'm getting into never before seen stories when you talk about interactions with players, predictions, commentary, just my 15-year career covering Alabama football. In my 15 years covering Alabama football, this was the craziest thing I've ever seen. That one right there, that one hurt, man. That one was hard to watch. Man, one of the craziest moments I've ever been a part of in covering Bama football. As an Alabama fan, why would you even say that? Like, what's wrong? What was the point of that? You can check out the podcast on touchdownalabama.com. Subscribe to TDA Plus. There it is, people. There it is right there. TDA Plus. Go there right now. Subscribe, touchdownalabama.com, where you can catch The Way It Is podcast, never before told stories by yours truly in 15 years covering Alabama football. We got episode 1 out there. We got snippets to social media. We've been cutting up episode 2 where I correctly predicted Jalen Hurts to be the starting quarterback in the 2016 season, or prior to the 2016 season, and a lot that went on there. So you definitely don't want to miss that when those snippets there hit the social media waves there. You definitely want to check that out there. But continuing here with your comments, we're going to the comment section to get your thoughts here on tonight's show. Appreciate all of you guys making this your show, your spot to talk Crimson Tide football. Absolutely. Man, you guys are right here doing it. So here we go. We got Nick Saban Jr. Sports Talk TV writes in, how many do you think will hit the portal in terms of on April 15th? That's going to be a good question, Nick Saban Jr., of how many guys for Alabama will actually hit the portal. Now, the good news is that the way King and DeBoer and this staff has built relationships with players, no one's talking about hitting the portal. Like, nobody's talking about leaving. Nobody's talking about transferring. Nobody's talking about going anywhere. Like, these coaches have created an environment where these players want to be here. These players want to be a part of this environment. These players want to be a part of the culture. And that really speaks to the job Kalen DeBoer and his staff have done in creating this atmosphere where nobody wants to leave. Players want to play with each other. They want to compete with each other. They want to be around each other. They want to win with each other. That's special. So right now, I don't see anybody right now hitting the portal. Now, things could change. We'll see after the A-Day game if somebody carries a different tune. But as of right now, I don't see anybody really hitting that transfer portal because of the way this coaching staff has connected, with these players here. Roll Tide and Rise Up writes in, Formby has come on in the last week or so. Wilkin Formby's playing. And I mentioned it. He was the most technically sound tackle in the 2023 class. When you look at the offensive lineman Bama brought in, Caden Proctor in that class, Miles McVay in that class, Rock Montgomery in that class, Olas Anganine in that class. You brought in some good offensive linemen, but Wilkin Formby was arguably the most technically sound tackle. And from what I've been told, according to close vetted sources, yes, Alabama may be giving up more power in terms of going with Formby over Miles McVay, who's 350 pounds, but Formby, who's 6'7", 320, he gives you more in pass pro. And with this offense wanting to do more passing the football, yes, it's going to run the ball too, because you got to get Justice Haynes, Jam Miller, Richard Young, and Daniel Hill their touches, definitely. But with this team being a bit more of a passing team, they will be okay with sacrificing a little bit of power for more pass pro consistency, for more pass pro production, and Wilkin Formby, well, that gives you that. So that's why Wilkin's been rising here as of late. Let's see, here we got my man Jimmy Batman Clay. Jimmy Clay with the Roll Tide. Appreciate my man Jimmy helping us out here on a Wednesday. Thank you to Jimmy Clay. J-Dub writes in, Roll Tide, Roll. Have a great night, Roll Tide to you, J-Dub. Happy to have you in here. Let's see here. Rawhide Media for you with the eyeballs going right there. So they're excited. You talk about the A-Day game right here. Christian Hills writes in, we in here still lank. Still letting all naysayers know. Jalen Milroe still keeping that slogan, that mantra going, letting all naysayers know in this upcoming season in the fall. My man Jimmy Clay dropping that $28 donation, the super chats, the baddest man smoking out here. Jimmy Clay, that $28 donation. He says, see you Friday, brother. I appreciate you, Jimmy Clay. Absolutely. Helping us out on the show. Jimmy comes back without Jimmy. This is Dale B in here with a $20 donation. So Dale B with that $20 love there in the bucket. He writes in a Roll Tide Road, everybody. Roll Tide to you, Dale B. helping us out here on the network. So as you guys got to get your keychains, get all of those keychains at Alumni Hall. They got you covered for all of your A-Day needs. Our guys at Midtown Village in Tuscaloosa. Got to love what those guys do there at Alumni Hall. But here we go. We got James Knox writing in. Roll Tide till I die with the In My Own Words TDA family. Appreciate you, James, helping us out. Ty Alexander, Roll Tide, Roll fam. Appreciate you, Ty, coming in here. Jonathan McMillan with RTR, Roll Tide, Roll from Jonathan McMillan. Happy about that. JDog67, that is a really well done hype video of a documentary, man. John Ivory, Eli Walker, TDA did a great job with that, putting that hype video together for the documentary. Appreciate John Ivory, appreciate Eli Walker, those two, the best producers out there, putting that together. I mean, how great that came out, phenomenal. And once again, people, touchdownalabama.com. That's touchdownalabama.com. Subscribe right now to TDA Plus, where you can get the Way It Is podcast. You can get those never before told stories right there when you talk about Alabama football. Let's see here. Nick Saban Jr. Sports Talk TV writes in, who do you think will be that surprise player who sticks out that we are not talking about? I'm going Elijah Pritchett. Pritchett's a good one. That surprise player that no one's talking about, and you got Elijah Pritchett. I like Pritchett. I'm going to say this. The guy that no one talks about that sticks out, give me Danny Lewis Jr. I think Danny Lewis at tight end could have a very big day Saturday. People don't talk about Danny Lewis enough. He is a freakish athlete, came in that 2022 class, if I'm not mistaken, out of Louisiana. I like Danny Lewis. Really good tight end. So that'll be my guy. Keep your eyes on him. Danny Lewis Jr. could have a big moment there at that tight end position here on A-Day. Let's see here. Corey Lewis writes in, Steven, is the defensive line looking good in the new defensive scheme? Yes, they are. Freddie Roach, Jamie Mosley's got these defensive linemen tearing it up out there, whether it's the veteran guys, Tim Keenan, Tim Smith, Jamarian Latham, Jaheim Otis as well. The other guys, Damon Payne, James Smith's had a very good spring. Keon Keeley has been out there ripping it up at that bandit position there on the defensive line. Jordan Renard has shown some stuff as well. So the defensive line has had a very good spring here, Corey. You got a firm rotation. And the main thing is, can you keep the rotation fresh all year long? That's what you want. A fresh rotation all year long. Guys getting after the run, and then guys getting after the quarterback. So as long as you got that fresh rotation, that's what you want right there. Jimmy Clay with the $52 donation. Jimmy on fire. And he writes in, Team 28 going to do it this weekend. Roll, Milroe, roll. So Jimmy Clay, big on softball. Check out Team 28. Those girls, Kayla Beaver, those girls are playing. They are flat out playing right now. So absolutely. Let's see here. Denzel Rambo writes in, Bama is back how it started. Quay, Moore, Smith, Tony Mitchell, Lawson, Mbakwe, Ryan, Alexander. It's competition. It's back to having competition at every spot on the field, at every spot on this team. It's awesome when you can have that competition at every position. But we're going to jump back into topic number 2 here of the conversation here on the show. And this is going to be on the Alabama running backs. People talk a lot about the quarterbacks, and rightfully so. But this Alabama running back room, it needs more publicity. It needs more people talking about it. This is a deep, talented, versatile running back room under Coach Robert Gillespie. And I understand Justice Haynes gets a lot of the headlines, which he deserves that. Here's a guy, former 5-star, 2023 class from Buford High School in Georgia, a guy that came on strong late last season. We saw him against Michigan in the Rose Bowl really tear up the Wolverines' defensive front. And to this very moment, we still ask ourselves, why was that ball taken out of his hands when he was really starting to get rolling? But that's another story for another day. But this spring, he's been fantastic. Jam Miller has been really good. The junior from Tyler, Texas, and he's been catching the ball out the backfield well. Running the football with power, running the football with speed on the outside. Really good in pass protection now. A guy that stepped up as a vocal leader in the room. Wasn't much of a talker this past season, but has now taken on that responsibility to be a vocal leader. Then there's Richard Young, and I don't get why nobody talks more about him, but he's had a fantastic spring. Had a touchdown there in the first scrimmage. Made a couple of big plays in the second scrimmage. A guy that's got speed, he's got burst, he's got power, he's got explosiveness, very soft hands as a pass catcher, versatile in that aspect, can make a whole bunch of plays. So I don't understand why there's not been more conversation about Richard Young, but he's out there balling. And then you got the freshman Daniel Hill, the 4-star from Meridian High School in Mississippi, and a guy that was a Wildcat quarterback, extremely smart in goal line situations, in short yardage moments. Nobody can tackle this kid. Strong as an ox. You want to talk about country strong? Daniel Hill, straight country strong. Runs through tackles, breaks tackles, gets into open space, takes more than one guy to bring this dude down. And I haven't even mentioned Kevin Riley, the other freshman from Tuscaloosa County High School here in T-Town. He won't be on campus until summer in terms of enrolling in. But when you talk about Haynes, Miller, Young, and Hill, this is a deep running back room. This is a deep rotation. They're very versatile. They can do a lot of different things. You know, some of these guys are great with power, but you got a mixture of speed guys. You got a mixture of guys that can catch the ball well. You got a mixture of guys that got great contact balance and vision. You got guys that can break tackles. You got guys that can be, 3 down backs. This is a very talented room. And it should have more conversation, and it should have more publicity on it. And I'm going to give it that conversation. I'm going to give it that publicity because these backs have done an outstanding job so far in spring practice. And this is another position group that our eyeballs will be on here in the 8A game just to watch which running back or how many, different backs will be able to impress us out there on the field in the annual spring game. So very proud of those guys there at the back there. We're going to take another quick break right here. When we get back, we jump back into the comment section. We get your thoughts. We get your conversations. Continue to light us up in the YouTube chat line. Light us up with that thumbs up. Light us up with smashing the subscribe tab. Just get that conversation flowing and going here. We'll be right back after getting a word from our partners on Alumni Hall and showing you why you need to tune in to the Way It Is podcast. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah, oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. And you want to know what's crazy? When I wrote that article on Jalen Hurts being starting quarterback for Alabama in 2016, and I was right. Tied 102.9, now tied 100.9. Actually, dismissed me. Like they fired me from the radio show. What? I have a new podcast, The Way It Is, on touchdownalabama.com. I gotta go back to 2017. I'm out there at practice, right? I just hear Coach Saban say, man, stop throwing it deep all the time. And then I hear somebody clap back at Saban with, tell your defense to stop me then. And I'm like, who in the world did clap back at Saban? I look, it was Lil Mac Jones. Got up clapping back at the GOAT. And in this podcast, I'm getting into never-before-seen stories when you talk about interactions with players, predictions, commentary, just my 15-year career covering Alabama football. In my 15 years covering Alabama football, this was the craziest thing I've ever seen. That one right there, that one hurt, man. That one was hard to watch. Man, one of the craziest moments I've ever been a part of in covering Bama football. As an Alabama fan, why would you even say that? Like, what's wrong? What's the point of that? You can check out the podcast on touchdownalabama.com. Subscribe to TDA Plus. All right, folks, we're back in here, rocking and rolling to the action from the break. Number one ticket for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama magazine on a Wednesday, A-Day week. The spring game Saturday, 3 p.m. Central Time from Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. Got ESPN will have the call on the matchup. So much to be excited about. So much to gain insight on. Going to be phenomenal. But we have back into the chat line to get your thoughts here, your questions. Let's roll this up here. All right, here we go. Nick Saban Jr. Sports Talk TV writes in. Let's see here. Jeremiah Alexander has been having a good spring. Jeremiah has been tearing things up in practice. Kang and the board talked about it. When he's on the field, stuff happens. And so Jeremiah, the light bulbs clicked on for him. The move from outside linebacker to inside linebacker has served him very well. Proud of Jeremiah. Definitely want to have him, be on the field there. But I'm proud of what he's been able to do this spring. Let's see here. We have a potentially four-headed monster in the running back room. You do. When you look at potentially, you got Justice, Jam, Richard Young, and Daniel Hill. That's your four-headed monster. All four of those guys. And then, like I said, Kevin Riley's good too. He's got game-breaking speed. All five of those guys are good. But right now, when you look at just the guys that are right now on campus, Haynes, Jam Miller, Richard Young, Daniel Hill, that would be the four-headed monster. That would definitely be the four-headed monster. GT18 writes in, running backs, been hearing good things, especially on Justice. Justice, it's his turn to be the running back one. He knows it. It's his turn to be RB1 in the room. This is a very good group. Justice and Jam give you that quality 1-2 punch. Then you got Richard Young, who can do some different things. Then you got Daniel Hill, like I said, strong as an ox out the backfield. This is a very good room. This is a solid room. This could be a very special room right here. And like I said, there's not been much conversation about it. There's not been much publicity about it. But I'm going to talk about it here on the show. So very excited about this running back room. My man Jason Hayward with that $5 donation, dropping the love in there. He writes in, who are we all going to talk about after Saturday? My prediction, Caleb Odom. So he's got Caleb Odom as the subject of conversation after the A-Day game. I like that, Jason. I like that. You're going to go Caleb Odom. I'm going to go the subject of conversation. Give me Emmanuel Henderson. I think Emmanuel Henderson is somebody we're going to be talking a lot about after this A-Day game. This guy has gotten better. Has greatly improved coming in and out of his breaks. Saw him at practice the other day. Tremendous concentration and making one catch where I was like, he slipped and fell. got back up, snagged the ball, kept going. I mean, E-Man coming out of high school was electric at Geneva County High here in Alabama. But I think now we're going to see something very special here in Emmanuel Henderson. I'm looking forward to that right there. Let's see a roll tide and rise up right in the running back room is solid. It absolutely is. Run the Table Sports TV. Steven, I just hope the young running backs trust the process and stay and not touch that portal. Stay home, Richard Young. We want you here at Bama. That's the main thing. The young running backs, be patient. Be patient. Wait your time. That's the big thing. Be patient with Rob Gillespie, with Kalen DeBoer. Wait your time. You're going to get your chance. You're going to get your opportunities. I look back at guys like Josh Jacobs. I look back at guys like Brian Robinson. I look back at so many players that could have easily transferred out. They waited their time. They took their time. They waited their time. And when their moment came, we saw it happen. And now both guys, Josh Jacobs, Brian Robinson, both in the National Football League having success. Run Table Sports comes back with, and we're getting Turbo next season and possibly Bo Jackson. Bama will be stacked. Recruiting's big right now. You're looking at Turbo. You're also looking at Bo Jackson here. If you get both of those two guys, Bama's running back room is definitely going to be absolutely insane here. Let's see. D. Pickett writes in. Here we go. Has Milroe really improved, or is he getting the nod because he's a senior? He has really improved. I mean, D, he's really improved. This new coaching regime, they're going to play the best person. And as of right now, Jalen Milroe has shown off all spring, whether it's the intermediate passing game, the deep passing game, going through his reads a lot faster, whether it's making quicker decisions as to where he wants to go to with the football. The moment he gets it, he's improved. And he's improved because, as I am the last 8 writes in, we got a special quarterback room. That's the reason why Milroe's improved. Everybody's pushing everybody. Ty Simpson has had back-to-back strong scrimmages. This recent one, when he had like 3 touchdowns. Dylan Lonergan threw a huge touchdown pass to Caleb Odom in the second scrimmage. Austin Mack, yes, he's a little bit raw, but he's making off-platform throws in practice. So everybody's pushing everybody, which means Jalen Milroe, you have no choice but to get better. And when you have nothing but offensive minds around you coaching you, you got no choice but to get better. So he has made that improvement. He has absolutely made that improvement. Let's see here. Run the roll tide and rise up, Steven. That is a Dallas, Texas background in your videos. Hey now. So we got Atlanta background. We got Dallas, Texas background. Okay. But like I said, that's coming back. That's coming back. We are definitely bringing that back. So don't you worry, people. I am the last 8 writes in. Henderson reminds me of Smitty. So here we go. Here we go. We got some Devontae Smith comparisons here from I am the last 8 for Emmanuel Henderson. So Henderson, I like him. Definitely like him. Really appreciate the growth that he's made here where this team is concerned. Run the Table Sports TV writes back in with A-Day MVP Justice Haynes again. So my man's got Justice Haynes taking the A-Day MVP honor. We will see if Haynes can repeat as the most valuable player of the A-Day game. D. Pickett writes in with Milroe going to mess around and win the Heisman now. He's got the potential to do it this year. He's got the potential to do it. Remember, he's already got his degree. So school is no longer a question. He's already got his degree. He can focus squarely on football now. And that means a lot. When you can focus squarely on football, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So he's in a position now where he can have a shot at going after the Heisman Trophy. He can have a shot at going after all of those prestigious quarterback awards here in the upcoming season, starting off here, of course, with the A-Day game. But we're going to get into, guys, the final topic here of conversation on tonight's show. I appreciate all of you guys checking us out here on a Wednesday. And the final topic is Bama's got a freshman defensive back that's dominated so much in spring practice. He's gotten compared to Caleb Downs, and that being one Red Morgan. Red has had such a huge spring that Kobe Prentice, junior wide receiver, says, man, Red, man, he has a different playing style than this guy I'm about to bring up, but just the way he's come in, the way he's worked, the way he's dissected down the system, this defense, and the way he can make plays, he reminds me a lot of Caleb Downs. That's what Kobe Prentice said. He said, remember when Caleb came in and had that huge freshman year and didn't look like a freshman this past season? He said, Red Morgan, that guy is doing very well for us right now. He can do the exact same thing. Morgan, right now, battling for a potential starting spot at Husky. And right now, he's also in that competition for free safety with Keon Sabb. So, Red has been putting on a show. I mean, within the first 3 weeks of spring ball, Kobe Prentice said Red had a one-handed pick. Within the first 3 weeks of spring football, this dude has got a one-handed interception. He's playing. Guy's playing. Guy's flat out playing. When you talk about coaches that have mentioned him, players that have mentioned him, he's been the one name that's been thrown out there all practice long. This guy's a baller. This guy's freakishly athletic. This guy gets it. He understands it. He's gifted. He's a playmaker. You have to have this young man on the field at all times. So very excited to see what Morgan can put together here in the spring game for Saturday. How many interceptions could he have? How many pass breakups could he have? How many big plays can he make? I'm pumped here when it comes down to Red Morgan. He's been the defensive back that's been dominating all spring long, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. But, folks, as always, we appreciate you. I appreciate you and being a part of the hottest show on the streets, number one forum for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Whether we're in studios or at the home location, you guys rock with us, and we do not take it lightly. I do not take it lightly. As always, you want the best in those news, notes, and commentary. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. For your audio needs, check us out. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. Appreciate you guys. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I try to be back. I actually try to be back next Monday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football. But as always, Tide fans, appreciate all of you guys commenting in the comment section, the donations, donating to the show, liking the show, subscribing to the show, subscribing to the channel. You guys make this show what it is. You make it special. You make it popular. You make it pop. We don't do this. We cannot do this without you, of the Alabama football family. So I definitely appreciate all of you. And until next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands, children. You guys continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing, to not be bored there. You get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words. Have a great night, everybody.